Welcome back to my cost sheet analysis class. Thank you, my dear student. Last class we have introduced the cost sheet and the different segment of the cost. Today we will do some example, some problem solution, so that you have a clear idea about the cost sheet analysis. Let us start. Here is the problem 2, problem topics, syllabus, problem 1. So problem 1, here you have to construct a cost sheet. So we can calculate. So I have to open a Excel sheet here. Solution of problem 1, output cost sheet, period March. I have done some work here. So first, the opening stock of raw material. We know that the raw material, direct wages and direct expenses will report to the prime cost control account. So we have to calculate the prime cost control account first. For this we have to find out the raw material consumption. Here is the raw material opening stock 1 lakh taka and purchase 1,50,000 taka. Warehouse wages 11,000. You can consider it as a store warehouse, or you can also consider it the finished good warehouse cost. Let it be erased. We will consider it finished good warehouse cost. Okay, now we will find the 2,50,000 taka is the direct raw material consumption. In this procedure we have to add the opening balance and raw material purchase, then we have to less the closing balance. So direct material consumed, we will find out that 2,20,000 taka, and this will be added to the direct wages to find out the prime cost. So we have here the prime cost is 4,20,000 taka. What else here is the direct expenses. Direct expenses here is the factory overhead. So we have to find out that the factory overheads, here is the 90,000 taka factory power, rent and light, and another factory overhead is the internal transport. We know that the internal transport is the material or goods that is returned to our store, so it will be added here as the indirect expenses or indirect wages. So these will be the factory overheads 24,000 taka. These two segment will report the works cost or factory cost. So the factory cost or works cost will be, we can write here, the factory cost will be 4,44,000 taka. Now we have to find out the cost of production. The cost of production, here you will see that the cost of production is the summation of factory cost, office and administration cost, or office and administrative cost, and other research and development cost. So we will find out the office and administrative cost. Office and administrative cost. So the remuneration to the technical director, this is a official cost. Solicitor's fee, legal expenses, and personal department. All these are the office cost, and the other is the research and experimental cost. This is the research and development cost. These two costs will be added to the factory cost to enumerate the cost of production. Thus we will find the cost of production here 5,50,000 taka. Now we have to adjust the finished goods, because we have to find out the cost of goods sold. For adjusting the finished goods cost, we have to add the opening stock of finished goods and then less the closing stock of finished goods. Thus we will find out the cost of goods sold, and with the cost of goods sold, when we add the selling and distribution or marketing cost, then we will find out the cost of sales. So here is the selling and marketing cost. Maybe the bad day, it may go to the marketing cost, and finished goods warehouse, it is the marketing, also a marketing cost. Insurance of finished goods, it is one sort of selling expenses or marketing good, and other cost is we did not consider earlier, that is the warehouse wages. So warehouse wages, we can add it here. You can also add it here in the raw material segment. If it is a storehouse, we can consider it warehouse wages, because there is mentioned that the finished goods warehouse expenses is 6,000 taka. This will give us the hints that there is warehouse, it is related to the finished goods. So we consider it in the selling and distribution cost segment. This is 11,000 taka. Taka, and the sum will be insert over here. In total, we will find out the selling and distribution cost, 82,000 taka, and this will be added to 5,85,000 taka. So it will be plus 52,000 taka, and 6,37,000 taka will be our cost of sales. Now it is given that the total sales is 8 lakh taka, so we will get the profit from subtracting the cost of sales from the sales value. It will be profit 1,63,000 taka. Let it check. 1,63,000 taka. Notice there that abnormal cost loss is not considered here. We know that abnormal cost is not related to the cost sheet analysis. If it was the normal cost or other cost, or what is caused by the cost section or production section, then we can consider it as a cost segments, cost elements. Now we can ignore it, so we did not give any application here for abnormal cost. Thus we can work out the problem 1. What about the problem 2? Problem 2, in this problem we can also, here there is some information related to the prime cost, factory cost, cost of production, cost of goods sold, and cost of sales. We have to find all of them. So now what we can do, we can open another page here. Books of the company, cost estimate for the period of I don't know, the period is not given, but we have to, yes, August 2007. 1st 2017. Stock of raw material, stock of raw material, opening balance. Here is the opening balance and closing balance. So we have to find out the total consumption of raw material. And how can I calculate this? Raw material consumption cost, we can calculate this here. Opening balance of raw material. Okay. Raw material consumption. I will delete it. So we have to calculate the raw material consumption. Consumed. Opening stock 33,000 taka. Purchase of raw material 2,50,000 taka. 2,50,000 taka. Purchase of raw material. And we have to add that this and less closing balance 31,000 taka. So that find that our raw material consumption is 2,60,000 taka. Now come on to the direct wages here. Wages paid 1,30,000 taka. Sorry, purchase 2,58,000 taka and wages 1,20,000 taka. Oops, so we can wages $31,000. 1,20,000. This will comprise our prime cost. Prime cost will be this two. We have to add that. So we will find the prime cost 3,80,000 taka. And now factory overheads is giving 1,30,000 taka. So we can add this factory overheads 1,30,000 taka. This will comprise our cost of production or factory cost. Factory cost. Cost of works. WORKS works cost or factory cost. Here we have to adjust the work in progress. this is the unused raw materials, so we have to adjust it in this segment. So we have to add the opening stock and less the closing stock. Add opening work in process, that is 20,000 taka. So we have to add this and then less closing work in progress. Closing at 30%. কস্ট অফ ওয়ার্কিং প্রসেস আমরা এখানে পেলাম কস্ট অফ ওয়ার্কিং প্রসেস ফাই $5 lakh টাকা। So with this we have to add the office and administrative cost, research and development cost to find out the cost of production. So add office and administrative cost here is 80,000 taka and